Hey bros, this is Jay-Kess here and welcome to another episode of FAQ Friday. This is a video series where I read your questions and pick a few to feature in the next video. You can leave your questions in the comments section or you can message me on Facebook and Twitter. The first question comes from Kevin McCruden and it says, what is your opinion of Operation Health and what do you expect further along? That is a great question, and there's been a lot of talk all over the place about expectation, disappointment, and I really want to just show you this meme that I found on Reddit. This is a post by Yoel Greymon, and it says, the only alpha pack I want. It got upvoted a ton on Reddit, and now this is really telling everybody what is really going on. People want bug fixes, and they feel like Ubisoft isn't fixing the bugs. So let's dive into what they said, what we thought they said, and what is actually happening. Okay, let's go to the Rainbow Six Siege website and look at the information that is official. First, on the roadmap, they have their 3 pillars, and I think a lot of people, and I'll show you in a little bit, confuse these pillars with the chronology. But anyways, the pillars say we're going to focus on technical improvements, which is one-step matchmaking, 100% server-based features, and faster servers. Number 2, there's a new deployment process, 3-step deployment for new features, an on and off switch. And number 3, that there's a bug fix sprint, top reported bugs by the community, and they're going to do all 3 of these things. So now let's look at the roadmap itself, which is different from the pillar. Their roadmap is a 3-month program, and in the back end, which we're not supposed to see, which is why everyone has no communication with Ubisoft, is servers, migration to more powerful server for the PvP, 100% client-side server for the PvE, chat, and party system. Now for the title updates, which is what we were all wanting their communication about, is patch 2.1, which is first going to be testing technical test servers, then PC, then console. Same thing will happen for patch 2.2. Then in 2.1 we have one-step matchmaking and the bug sprint number 1, and then in 2.2 is alpha packs and bug sprint number 2. And everybody's excited for alpha packs right now, but as we know, patch 2.2 hasn't come out yet. So there was a lot of miscommunication about when alpha packs were going to come out and when we thought they were going to come out. Let's look at Season 2 Operation Health. It simply says Operation Health in May, Operation Health in June, Operation Health in July. Okay? So see how there's 3 spots there? Let's go back up. Oh, I think a lot of people then confuse these 3 pillars with happening in those 3 spots. But as we already see, one-step matchmaking is going to be in 2.1, and it nowhere says in the pillars about alpha packs. But as we go down farther, we'll see that 100% server-based features isn't going to be in 2.1, but actually in 2.2. Okay, let's look at known issues. I'm just going to scroll through here. They see problems with online and multiplayer, connectivity, installation, performance, bugs and glitches, and look at this huge list of bugs and glitches. Now, as we saw, they were going to take this in 2 different sprints. 2.1 is going to have 1 sprint, and then 2.2 is a 2nd sprint. And everybody really wants it all happening at the same time, or at least a communication about when that's going to happen, which is actually technically in Title Update 2.1. Okay, let's look at Title 2.1. And this has come out for PC. And they wanted to say, quote, the first major title update in Operation Health is to focus heavily on implementing one-step matchmaking and interactive matchmaking. One-step matchmaking increased the engagement between us as players and the game. I don't have to wait as long. I have to be careful when I play though. There are times of the day where I can wait like 10 minutes, but overall you're able to jump into a game. My bro, he said one problem that he had is it doesn't tell you anywhere like the progress. Used to, it'd tell you, okay, you've got your 5 guys and you got the other 5 guys if you come together. Now it's just a clicking clock. It doesn't tell you your team is like 9 people strong or there's 10 people in the pool, which would be kind of nice if they told you like how far along you were so you can say, okay, I'm close or I'm not close, especially since now what they're trying to do is bring it all together. What we thought was with one-step matchmaking, it meant that everything was client side to server server-side, but that's not the case. They have not yet implemented everything being server-side. This is why sometimes you have connectivity problems. It's in 2.2 in which they're going to say, okay, all the connections will be server-side, and not only will it be faster, it'll be more reliable. I have a lot of friends who still use Discord because it has a much more reliable audio feed, which is what they're hoping to fix in 2.2. Let's keep scrolling down. Hitboxes. This came in 2.1. It caused a big storm amongst people who said, yes, it's awesome, I'm glad they did it, but what they're going to implement in 2.2 is anything that isn't hitting the head, they want to have visual and auditory feedback. So let's look here. IQ, she's got these big old earmuffs. If you hit the earmuff, it's supposed to go ting or make a noise or a little spark to let you know that you didn't hit the head. What's worse is if you come over here, the Blitz, and you hit his earmuff, you thought you hit him in the head, and it doesn't register. Then everyone's saying, hit reg is terrible! Or what happens if you come over here and you try to hit Rook's head and it hits off the glass? It should give you some sort of spark or something, and that's what they're going to do to help all that along. So they did their hitbox rework and general tweaks and improvements. They have game balancing, game health, and player comfort. I'm going to scroll down through here where they talked about nerfing glass. Then we're going to talk about spawn kills, which they did implement, but then they had to go back into Canal and fix this window. This window is now open again, but then they opened up here. They raised this up. The spawn is now here, and there's some stuff in the way, so you can't do it. And I'll link to my video below in which I did an FAQ Friday about spawn killing on Canal. Also, exploits, error codes, player comfort. New post-match and pre-match squad flow. They've already implemented some of this. Keep playing as a team is something that has been implemented as well. Now to the main bug fix, and this boggles my mind. Apparently 2.1, all these things were fixed. I'm going to highlight this. Players receiving timeout error when first connected to the server or creating squad. I disagree. I still get this. I hate it. Fix this, please, Ubisoft. But anyways, here's gameplay, operators, they go down. Here are the game modes. I'm kind of glad that they fixed some of the stuff in Terrorist Hunt because it'd be broken. Like, for example, 3 Terrys left, and if you have a drone out, they're going to, at least one of them is going to congregate over your drone instead of rushing you. It's weird. They should hopefully fix that. Level design, skyscraper border. They did fix Geisha, which is nice. Now you can plant stuff down in there. So they say all this stuff is fixed, right? But they're not highlighting this anywhere. And it was like, fix the bugs, fix the bugs. But apparently, according to 2.1, all these things should be fixed. But maybe we're not encountering them enough to then be able to be like, oh yeah, that's fixed now. So that's update title 2.1. Now let me get to what really threw everybody overboard this last week. Okay, this is a blog, title update 2.1.1. As originally communicated, we plan on deploying 2 larger patches during Operation Health, Title Update 2.1 and Title Update 2.2. As we continue our work on improving the game, we realized that deploying a smaller patch in between these two would allow us to free up resources to focus more on the work that we want to complete before the end of Operation Health. As a result, we will be deploying Title 2.1.1 on July 11th for all platforms. And this is what got everyone confused. Remember, according to the roadmap, Alpha Packs is a part of 2.2. Okay, so when everyone saw Alpha Packs as 2.1.1, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Alpha Packs. But in actuality, they're putting in the code for Alpha Packs. Alpha Packs will come about next week. Now, it is a little confusing. Does that mean Title 2.2 is going to come out next week? I don't think so. So I think they actually are doing a little bit of a swing where Alpha Packs is coming between the 2 title updates. So here's Hibana. I'm glad they fixed Hibana. Let's see if it continues working well. That was going to come in this small title update. And this is what I would say is under the bug sprints. They're trying to hit some bug sprints. Here's what I talked about with the canal spawn peak. They're fixing this. So this is what happened in the 2.2.1 update, which isn't technically the 2.1, which is one-step matchmaking, or the 2.2, which is Alpha Packs. So we're in this little time in between where everyone's a little bit confused. Okay, let's get into my thoughts on the season. In May or late April, when they said this announcement, I was watching the Pro League, we're getting all psyched. Oh man, Hong Kong, the idea is that we're going to have these 2 new operators. Right now they're codenamed Caltrop and Dazzler. When they announced Operation Health and they said we're pushing it back, I know a lot of the community was disappointed. A lot of people felt like they were entitled to some sort of compensation. I am a season pass owner. I do not think that they needed to compensate because they are planning everything to give that was a part of their contract for those who paid. We're getting all the operators. The maps are free, so there was nothing that they weren't going to give us. Rumors are, though, that July, being the end of Operation Health, is a flexible idea. Nuka Dukem is pointing out that maybe it's going to be late August when we actually get Season 3. Now, they say it's going to be in August, but they don't say it's going to be the very beginning of August. On the flip side, I think we got Velvet Shell right there at the very beginning of February. Most of the time, the new season comes out right after the finals. And as he's pointing out, the finals for this next season of the Pro League happens late August, like August 20th or something. It's going to be at Gamescom. My big takeaway from Operation Health is, yes, please do Operation Health. Listening to the guys at Ubisoft, they are wanting this game to go 5 to 6 years. And if you're going to have a game go 5 to 6 years, you can't be having bugs every single time you put up a new update. That's the big thing they're struggling against, is they don't want this game to have to come out every 3 months and then split their development team to fix the problems that they just introduced. Like, a lot of people, they interpreted their announcement of Operation Health as, we're going to put all of our devs into working on Operation Health and all this, and we're going to have to halt for 3 months. But do remember that they still have to do the production for Hong Kong. They still have to do the production for Korea. So even though that's what they kind of came across as, I think that their devs teams are split. And you can go through their announcements and their blogs, and you can get that feeling that they've at times admitted that they don't have as many hands on deck or resources that they're wanting. So if they can lay down the groundwork and then moving forward not have all these bugs come out, then that allows them to focus on making the content at every 3-month interval like they're hoping. Now, I have seen some crazy glitches. Right now there's this big camera bank glitch where you throw it and it scans everywhere on the map no matter where you are. Man, that's savage. The point is, I'm optimistic. I pay for things on Rainbow Six because I want to help the developers. I think it's important that they're taking these 3 months to work on Operation Health. I've seen improvements. Maybe there's a lot more to be desired, but I think everyone will be fine again once Hong Kong Season 3 comes out and Operation Health is finally over. People can get back into the, oh yay, I get something every 3 months. Now, what will break the system is if Hong Kong comes out and there's a ton of bugs again. People will lose their minds and will probably start suing Ubisoft. I don't know. I feel like the player base is quite loyal and they wouldn't do that, but the outrage on Reddit and the memes will be for real. If I had to give an overall, Operation Health, to rank it 0 out of 10, I would give it a 5.5. It is just average. There hasn't been a lot of communication and clarification of that communication, which has got a lot of people confused. That's why I rate it so low. But the things that they have improved, I think warrants that. If it was to be an 8 or a 9 for me, it should have been much more clear when those changes were being made in the game. I think once 2.2 comes out, then I'll be able to raise it up, and I got my fingers crossed for that. And that's it for today's FAQ Friday. Let me know what you think about what we discussed in today's video. I know Operation Health is such a controversial topic. What do you think about Operation Health? What would you like to see in what I suspect is going to be a 2.1.2 and then a 2.2.1 and then a 2.2.2? What would you like to see in those? And as always, if you'd like to submit your own question for an upcoming episode, you can leave a comment or message me on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, fam, peace.